All right. It is Winning Women's Wednesday.
It's the Three Amigos.
It is the Three Amigos. I'm so excited. We have our fun Rick here today. I'm super excited.
I am woefully outnumbered.
Woefully outnumbered. Yeah. And we're recording. Hello, Ashley.
Hi. Good morning.
We are recording this, and it will air the day after the presidential election because Miss Ashley has some travel.
I do. I have to go to Boston for the NAR convention.
That's exciting.
It is. I'm not looking forward to flying into
because you're flying
into the shredder
on Tuesday, right? Or Wednesday?
No, I'm flying on Wednesday.
Oh, that'll be a fun flight. What time's your flight?
10:15 in the morning.
That'll be a fun flight.
And then they've already sent out like an email saying, "Hey, in the political climate with the national election, we just remind everybody, like, basically, let's be considerate of each other."
Is this who sent this email? Was this the airline or the
No, this is NAR.
Okay.
So
I love that.
I mean, it's kind of funny because
it absolutely is.
And what's the worst that could happen?
And at the same time, there's might or might not be a strike at the hotel I'm staying.
Nice.
Okay, that would be fun just for the sake of that.
So note to self, don't travel with Ashley.
No, that happened last year at the national convention. We were in Anaheim and they started striking. And then the morning we were leaving, though, they literally had like bullhorns and like tambourines and like marching
tambourines.
Band. Yeah, and everything else. Can you guys hear me okay?
No.
Okay.
We might have to start this over. There's a little, I'm not hearing the headphones.
I'm not hearing it at all, me.
I can hear me.
Goose.
I can hear you.
Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me?
You. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that killed about 2 minutes.
Is our gimmick all?
It's loud over here. I turned it down because it was like red.
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
Hello?
Okay, that's better. I think we're good.
Can we hear it better now?
Should we start over again or no?
Should we edit? Can we just edit?
We can always edit.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just cut it out.
Yeah, so marching band.
Okay.
That's where I was. Yeah. So no, I mean, in Anaheim too, last year, there was a strike and I literally went outside and like videoed because I was like, because we were right next to Disneyland. So I'm thinking way too early for a Disneyland parade.
Right.
But it's a serious thing. So now in Boston, they may or not be striking as well.
So does that mean you have to like turn down your own bed? You have to do?
I don't know.
What do you do?
I'm a gamer. We'll figure it out. I mean, it is what it is.
So I've never been to a NAR convention.
Yep.
Tell me what you're excited about.
So, I think it's a mixed bag depending on what people want to do because, you're talking about getting national leaders, the major tech companies, the CEOs of brokerages, like all that kind of stuff. So there is a mixed group that attends these. So it's not just your volunteers. So is there like a
marketplace and then there's all kinns of like
So we have the
classes.
convention center.
Okay.
Yeah. So tons of education. This is when they run their committee meetings, the major voting to, the bylaws, our constitution as far as that goes. And that
Any
nature.
anticipated antagonistic.
So,
of course, Rick would like to know that.
Well, no, I mean, I absolutely. At first, we thought there was going to be some sort of ruling on clear cooperation.
Right.
But they have now issued a statement that the MLS advisory group and the leadership team have not decided to take action at this time.
Okay.
So we'll see what that happens. But that was something that we thought we would probably vote on or discuss, but kind of off the table at this point.
Interesting. So now, as a whole?
So we've got our executive leadership team, and then we have national directors. So our national directors obviously support that initiative. And then we've got people that are very involved in global and commercial and different, committees as far as it's not a huge group, but it's an eclectic group. And it's really interesting. Well, it's interesting to get everybody across the country, at the same place and really hearing what's going on, trending in different marketplaces and kind of getting out of our own little, bubble.
And DFW, it has always seemed to me that DFW is, for good or ill, like very insulated from the rest of.
It is.
Because even when I worked back at City, there would be places where everything was on fire, like Detroit, Las Vegas, every day further into the ditch.
Sure.
And here it was just like,
You didn't hit, you definitely, we again, even in this market, this opportunity market, as I keep on calling it, because
it is an opportunity.
Opportunity market.
Isn't that required?
Yeah.
You're required to call it an opportunity.
Yes, it's an opportunity market. Our landing is much softer than other areas of the country, and I don't know if you saw it, but they're projecting for 2025 that DFW is going to be the hottest real estate market in the country.
So I did not get the chance to read that article. I saw the headline. What's the reason for that? Do we know?
It's just talking about the economic development, the strength of Texas and its gross domestic product. And then, of course, the absorption of commercial and housing and everything because of all the businesses that are coming in.
Oh my gosh, there's so much commercial happening in my neck of the woods.
I
'Cause
know.
I'm in Uptown.
Yeah.
And it's, you hear about the economy and the housing market's not what I
Yeah.
would like for it to be this year,
Sure.
but yet there's high rises going up all over the place. There's office buildings. Wingstop just moved their corporate offices across
That's
the
the
street
key.
from me.
It's the HQs
Yes.
that are coming
Yes.
here.
And they're not going to stop. So,
and
so-
that's what's huge. You're exactly right.
So those are the interesting things to hear about in the different marketplaces, and to network, and it creates a great referral source actually
Yeah.
too. I mean, again, I always say this: none of us are philanthropists by trade. That's why we do real estate.
For
Doesn't mean
sure.
that realtors don't do philanthropy, but when you consider, also figure out how to leverage a different gimmick while you're going to the conference, right?
Yes.
You're learning, you're educating, you're doing those things, but you're networking and creating a referral source. And so that's what I always tell people: if you've got the bandwidth or the desire to get involved in some sort of association, work, and that doesn't, not all things are created equal. You don't have to go, up the ladder. It's really advantageous. And
So, like, for example, Fridays, Millennials and
Yes.
Legends. Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
And that was cool for me just because there were so many people in the room that I knew.
Yep.
And the fact that so many things come full circle years later, that there's no BS 1-to-1 ratio of like, you go to this many events, you'll get this much business and these people,
Sure.
there's none of that. But being there on Friday and seeing the turnout and seeing everybody participate, and it was great stuff. And then it's weird for me to have all of these different roads intersect,
Yeah.
and then like Wayne kicking it off.
So cool.
And then Ashley and her mom, as part of the panel and all of that. And then Marion, who was there,
Sure.
because like Marion was here on Saturday doing stuff for the ABR, and then of course Michelle was in the audience, and then all the stuff. And I'd just seen her 2 days before doing the show in Colleyville.
Yeah.
So like, what else you guys got going on outside of just the travel thing is cool or whatever, but it's like, I haven't been around for any of the fun and games.
Oh, what are we
Well,
talking
so like,
about?
I'm sure that there's guys got to be like boatloads of pickleball happening, right?
Oh no, we're still playing pickleball all the time. I'm trying to get a real estate pickleball
League.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm doing a really good job. But so we've got that. I'm trying to embed that into everything that we're doing. It's a lot of different stuff. I mean, it was funny going back to that panel though. Somebody asked, what would you tell like a new realtor, if you were a new realtor and you can look backwards now, what would you do? And, one of the things was I specifically said, figure out what business you actually want to build. And I think that's what's changed so dramatically in our industry, is that 20, 30 years ago, there was really an archetype of what a realtor did, or a real estate agent did for the consumer, because there wasn't technology. So you didn't have DocuSign. You didn't have mobile delivery. I mean, you were stapling contracts, stapling option checks, picking up keys, taking them to the reciprocating agent, doing all of these other things, faxes mile long,
And the MLS book.
books.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
the book.
And so it was funny. We were talking to Tyler Crease, and he said, dude, if there were MLS books when I got my license, I wouldn't have got my license.
Right.
Because he's entrepreneurial. He's like, there's no ROI on MLS books. I said,
No.
yeah, because time is money. And if you're wasting your time with ancillary things. And so that's really what I encourage them, not to mean that you can build this big business overnight, but understand you get stuck on this real estate hamster wheel if you define yourself as just a traditional residential agent and become more transactional and doing those things. So I would really encourage people to look at it as, what type of real estate business am I building?
Yes.
And then how do I network and educate myself appropriately to help build that and be in the rooms with the people that have done it before me? Because that's what Metro Tex has been able to do. I didn't have a property management business before I was involved there, but because I now have mentors that I've led next to that have said to me, Ash, maybe this is something that you guys need to do for your own business because you work with so many investors. You guys would do an amazing job, and we'll support you in that.
And you would have no way, you're not going to wake up on a random Thursday and be like, I need a property
Absolutely
management.
Not. Absolutely not.
No. And so you turn around that he wants to
suits
do.
him.
That suits him and his personality. That's where my soul goes to die. He actually hates traditional like sales. That's not his thing, because he's like, takes too long. Tenants are like burn and turn. Let's close them.
Yeah.
Because it's a much
Oh,
more
yeah,
instant
that's true.
gratification
For sure.
situation. So, but that's where I was saying, look at all the people in the room, whether you want to do global real estate, commercial, property management, residential sales, because diversification is key in this business. And so that's why local, state, and national, if you do it right, you can really put yourself in pretty decent circles to be educated in a network with people that will bring you up alongside them.
And a lot of that is just the suit up and show up. Because like what you said, you had no indicator that like, oh, property management.
Yes.
Or whatever it is, fill in the blank.
Yep.
You know, and even where we are now sitting here doing this came as a result of, you know, it took the long way around the barn,
Yeah.
but it organically came from being a lender, showing up and coming out of the ivory tower at Citi and to be like, oh, you mean realtors they need loans or what, you know, I didn't know my ass from third base on any of that stuff. And
Right.
it wasn't until you go where the realtors are. And it turns out that's like usually a thing where there's
Breakfast,
We like
breakfast
food.
or booze. One
Yes.
or the other.
One or
Yes,
the other.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, even on Friday is coordinating the area realtor meetings for
yeah.
2025. Super excited about some of the things coming
Yeah.
up there. But that's a great way to just dip your toe in and become a part of the networking atmosphere.
Free 99 too. It's my
Yes.
husband's favorite.
Yes.
You can just go and show up. There's
Yes.
not, there's not a fee to attend or anything else like that. And I mean, that's the first time I ever met Rick was like just walking into one blindly. And I think it was in Wiley Saxe and like staring. And I'm like,
That's where
all
you
these
picked?
people. Well, that's where I lived at the time.
Okay.
So, but I walk in and it was at Woodbridge, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I just walk in and I'm just going, all these people know each other. They were talking about just doing like the realtor cruise and, all of these other things. And I'm like, wow. And then I look back now and I'm like, that's a crock. When you actually like go back and you realize how enamored you were by all of the
Or
shenanigans that were going
this
on.
like magical pre-existing world. You know,
Yeah.
and now my first experience of that was the old Park Cities MLS meeting.
Yep.
Oh my God,
Yes.
this would have probably been 14, 15 years ago.
Was that
and Macaroni
At
Grill.
Jose's
Oh.
now.
It was at the Macaroni Grill, which is now a fire station.
Yeah.
Right there, like Blissett Northwest.
that could be interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the very first time I went, it was like the first day of 9th grade. And,
Yeah, you just
and
walk
it
in.
was just like,
It is. It's a little intimidating.
It still is
it
intimidating.
was a lot intimidating there.
Yeah.
Because that was like moving to a new school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you walk in there and there is nobody less interested in you.
Well, and then when you start walking their way and then they turn around
Yes.
because they're
Oh,
like, no, I don't
don't know-
have,
don't know
can't-
that person.
Can't sit here.
Yes.
I mean, it's like a little Forrest Gump treatment.
Yes.
No.
Well, I lead the Oakland Park Cities group.
Yes.
starting
And
next
everybody
year.
gets a hug.
Everyone gets a hug. And if you're new, if you want to email me and let me know you're coming, I will look for you.
I think that is a micro opportunity in a smaller group that's geographical in wherever you live or your competency or where you want to work more, and it gets you in there and it's a learning experience. Because that was the other thing that people were asking about though was what would this look like for you? And I said honestly, this market is not fun.
It's vicious.
But if I didn't have something that was keeping my foot in the real estate
Absolutely.
business every single day, it'd be real easy to put on sweatpants, watch Netflix, and cuddle with my 3 crazy dogs, right?
And that's what we've been talking about so much in coaching is having a plan and a schedule every week, even if you don't have business.
Can it be a mental schedule?
Not for you.
Okay.
How's that remarkable going?
It's in my bag.
Ooh, is it out of the box?
Yeah.
It's a step. I love it.
Are we
What?
stuck?
What?
You push your hair forward.
Did my hair gimmick jacked up?
Oh, I thought it was fine.
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
So Rick gets acknowledged when he has a hair issue and I've got a hole in my head and I get nothing?
Yes.
That's in his contract. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the
fair.
agreement.
Okay, back to it. We don't have to edit that either.
No, absolutely.
The beauty of pre-recorded.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can go to, I have made the step to take my remarkable out of the box.
I'm proud of you.
And then maybe I'll write in it.
I love
while
it.
I'm gone, and they are. I'll take notes.
Yes,
I'll take
send us
notes.
pictures.
Tomorrow.
I'm excited. But to your point, keeping yourself immersed and involved
Yep.
with things that really make sense and that are attempting to move your business forward. Because yes, there are some times when you can make all the calls and do all the things and it doesn't get you anywhere and it's disheartening. But you've got to start the week with a plan and follow that plan because eventually it will pay off. And the people who haven't done anything, they're going to be the ones that are scrambling in January because we are going to have a good year in 2025.
We're gonna have a
I believe
great.
that.
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a fantastic year in
I think
2025.
I might be delusional. There's a greater than zero chance that I am.
I'm pretty sure.
delusional.
but I
That's a
like it.
fact.
I'll
I
roll
like
with
it.
yours.
But I'm like super excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know why. I just think that I just have this feeling like there's this momentum
Yeah.
and there's like so much good stuff happening now.
Absolutely.
And like, for example, I will give Ashley full credit for bringing me back to the fold.
Yeah.
To Metrotex. And
She's the best. We love her.
And then, like the whole thing with, just everybody kind of like coming back together.
Yeah.
Which I never thought that would happen.
I think for the real estate community, especially with MetroTex, we're starting to come out of COVID
Yeah.
in a positive way. And the people who want to participate are participating and they're getting involved and they're going to reap the fruit of that, not only from a community standpoint, but also from a business standpoint. And
Yeah.
I think we're starting to see that already here
And
in
what is
2024.
the catchphrase or the tagline of like what you have going on right now is because of what you did 6 months ago? or
Absolutely.
9
It's a
months ago?
trailing effect, and that
Yeah.
is what is so important because, and again, somebody said this not too long. Oh, I think it was Les. Les was like, what's that saying? It's, when's the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago? When's the second best time?
Today.
Now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those are those things we consistently want to look back and go what we don't have because we didn't put in the efforts, which are small compounding effects day after day. And so we want to take that big bite all at once and transform our business from 0 to 60. And that's just not how this works. I mean,
not.
it's constant reps. So seeing everybody, seeing people in the room, you know what's
Yes.
even funny? So like take Tyler, for example, Tyler Crease, 8 months ago, 6 months ago, nobody knew who he was. Like within the organizational element,
Me?
right?
For sure. Yeah.
And he won 40 under 40 last year. Super amazing mind, great broker and mentor to his agents, independent broker. And he did his first real estate deal with me ever. That was like 6 years ago. And so when he won 40 under 40, he reached out and was like, hey, just wanted to reintroduce myself. Oh my gosh, it's such a small world. You're doing amazing things. If you ever need help, I might be interested in getting involved, which is the worst thing. Whoopsies.
Yep.
Yep. I said that too.
Yeah, no, that's what you
But it's
do.
so good.
But you turn around and you look at somebody like him who's such a growth rocket. Like he's always looking at how to scale business and do all these things. And for him to now, 6 months later, everybody's like, oh my gosh, what an amazing guy. Because he's a breath of fresh air. He understands that we're building businesses and he still gives back to his agents and his community. So it's not because he's a savvy business owner and entrepreneur that he can't still educate and from a professional development standpoint, still have a very high functioning brokerage. We need to marry the two
Yes.
because
Yeah.
that's what's going to be sustainable in this. But I think that's what's amazing is he's such a proponent in getting involved and he's got his hands in so many different business opportunities.
Well, and Ashley and I were talking about this before Michelle got here.
Yes, Michelle
Before
was.
Michelle, BM.
I was late today. I was late. My apologies.
But the whole idea of like the corporate broker thing is just absolute chaos.
It doesn't
Yeah.
work anymore.
It doesn't
And-
work.
Yeah. And so
model
it is the
needs to
Tylers
be
of the
revamped.
world
Yeah.
that and the Michelles of the world
Yeah.
where it's the boutique thing and the irony.
Oh, I guess Ashley having her own boutique
Oh,
here at the
well,
end is
but
just
see, now-
chop liver.
I think
I mean,
if you
you're
more
the president, so
you're more of
there's
like
that.
you're the dynastic owner over there where you've got like somehow you managed to get all of your family to work for you.
Oh, well, what does that say about other people? Can't get other people to work for me?
Yeah, we still need an assistant.
Yeah.
By the way,
Oh,
anyone
Yes.
that's still out there.
Agreed. We'll put that out
Shameless
there.
plug.
Let's
Shameless
manifest.
plug.
Manifest.
Shameless
We're going to
plug.
manifest that. But yes, so the boutique method. And see, like with your dynasty, I don't consider it a boutique. Would you consider it a boutique?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I used to sponsor agents, but then, yeah.
But no.
But she didn't sponsor agents either.
Sponsor agents. So I'm a boutique of. Well, you have my dad and my husband. So I'm.
I would call. I think we're probably more like solopreneur when you're
Yeah. Okay,
when
there
you're
you go.
looking
we have
in our
we have a
brokerage.
team.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's-
Okay. So
yeah.
we'll bring it back. But like the Tyler,
Tyler, for
Tyler
sure.
being young too.
Yes.
Where
Whoa.
it is
What do you mean young?
40 under 40.
I feel 40. Does that count?
I am still under 40.
Well, I'm in the 100 under 100.
Okay, good deal.
I'm in the top
it's
100
fine.
or
But
100.
yes, young
You're
guy.
feisty today.
Yeah.
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 Well, it's because
Monday.
I'm back. Because
Yeah.
it's like
We missed you.
I pop in
Yes.
and I get to be
Yes.
like, I get to throw the dead cat in the room and then
You
have
do
to clean it up.
Yes. Yes.
Good job. We missed
Well
you.
done.
Yeah. Well, this is actually, this is always the most fun part of what I do. And
sure.
like, there were 75 things on fire before you guys got here. And so I was just mad.
You just let them burn.
I'm just, no, I'm just
But
mad all morning.
Isn't that nice to sit here
Yeah.
and then have this distraction where it
I
kind of
love
like
it.
gives you a little bit more gratification
Yes.
for
and
what you
hopefully
do?
we're serving some purpose to some audience out there.
I think we are.
Let's not get crazy.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, no, Cruz raised his hand.
Thank you,
Okay.
Cruz. Thank
Yes,
you, Cruz.
absolutely.
Oh, he gave it
We got the heart.
The heart.
The best.
The heart emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
As
you
my
go.
daughter would say, that's so cringe, Mom. Yeah. I don't know.
Your
She still
kids-
loves me.
your kid- oh, we got fanfare.
Oh, hey.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Good. Yes.
Good.
But where I was going with that, for the young and the young at heart,
Yes, thank
Yes.
you.
your boutiques, was the irony of everybody running around like, hey, come to our AI CE class or whatever, where everything will be done for you and the magic robots will, do everybody that is looking for that or wanting that. The irony to me is the flip side. It'll be the boutiques. It'll be the people. It'll be the cool thing, or the countercultural thing will be to know people and
Yes.
to actually like go places.
I know that's
Yes.
the cool thing again. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, we're not using smartphones. We've gone
Yeah.
back to,
Get you a
dial up.
flip phone?
Yeah, no. Well, I'm not doing any of that. I appreciate my technology.
Yeah, because you have a new phone.
I do. I have a new phone, so I can take
Is it
big
16?
pictures. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 16.
They didn't have the 16 Pro Max when I went.
Yeah, so that's
I'm
what,
bummed.
Yeah, so I got that, but that is also what I said was you need to learn to leverage certain other things, and my biggest thing would be if I could learn at an earlier age, what can I figure out how to delegate really
Huge.
cost effectively?
Yes.
And now that we have all these tools, and I used an example where I used, oh, and by the way, Claude over
I like Claude.
yeah,
I'm liking Claude.
Claude AI versus Chat GPT. It beta tests when you're
Yeah.
if you're
Okay.
using each one. So it was really interesting. And so
And it's got a name. It's Claude.
Claude.
That's fun.
Yeah. I'm going to use my assistant, Claude.
Yes.
Claude Van Damme. That's not as real. Yeah. Anyways, so I digress. But I was writing an email or a response, sorry, to a not contentious, but a little bit snarky Facebook thread on an internal Facebook group.
Oh, okay. Behind
And-
the curtain. Okay.
Well, and so it was for independent brokers, and I'm a part of it and everything else, but it was just talking about some ancillary services. They really want true optionality is what they want in the real estate business, right? Give us our essential services. We'll decide whether or not we want to be a Realtor member. We believe that's how it should be. So we've created a pathway for that with MLS and ET
Yeah,
services
the
through
super- yep.
Metrotex. And so, but it was somebody posting about sending an email to Justin. And then I called Justin 2 seconds later and I said, you now have been named. And he's like, he just sent it to me 20 minutes ago and I was just responding. It was like 8:05. But you know what it did? It created a bunch of dialogue throughout the day with a ton of our members that are in this independent, mindset, a boutique brokerage, solopreneurs, and they need to be heard too. So I curated a response. I took my response and I put it in Claude and I said,
Make it nice.
here's the gist.
Make it nice.
Well, no. I thought it was nice, but so I said, here's the gist of what I'm responding to. Can you dissect my comment to make sure it's supportive and proactive and blah, blah, blah. So it broke it. Here's why we think you're being supportive. Here's that tone. And without seeing the original post, we think you did a great job. Go ahead and post it. I'm like, awesome. Because you would sit there sometimes and go, should I post it? Should I not post it?
Tone
Did I
is
use
so hard to convey.
It is
so hard.
So to use that, I still had to write it. I'm the one still
Yeah.
communicating with those people. I know the objective in the communication, but if I can, instead of trying to call Michelle and say, Michelle, can you listen to this? And let me send you all the screenshots and do all this
Yes.
other thing. Do you think I responded well while she's driving with her knee and probably talking on the phone herself?
Right.
I put it in there. 20 seconds later, I'm posting in there, and now
Problem
we're
solved.
And now we look like amazing because they're saying thank you for hearing us. We feel like
Yes.
somebody's finally listening,
Well,
and all
there
of
you
these
go.
other stuff.
And that's 99% of the time, they just want to be felt and heard and seen and
Correct.
recognized, even when they're completely wrong.
and that's okay.
That is,
I'm kidding.
you know what? I saw a TikTok this morning, and it was the guy goes, you know what the easiest way to like disarm somebody when they're coming at you negatively? Just agree with them.
Yes.
Yep.
I hate
Give
you.
them validation.
Me too. I hate me too.
Give
It's
them
just
validation.
validation
Yeah.
and the silliness sometimes
Yes.
and what's going on.
Yes. And then one of the things that I've learned in recovery is 99% of people never expect you to actually be accountable.
Yep.
Like when you will shock the shit out of somebody. We're like, oh, wow, I totally dropped the ball on that. That's on me.
Yep.
They're not prepared for that
No.
as an answer most of the time.
No, and that's I think what it was, and we truly feel that way. It wasn't putting on an act or anything else, but now we are now having an independent broker focus group at the building
Right
on
on.
November 22nd, and
Awesome.
like all these people, and Justin and I are going to co-host that and just listen. So I think that's
I think that's huge.
yeah, no, it is. So, I have to fly because I'm going 42 things at once. But, I would like to just hear why all of us think 2025 is going to be a really great year.
For me personally, it's a stacking effect. You know, just
Yeah.
like what we were saying earlier, like, okay, like right now is the result of 6 months ago or 9 months
Yep.
or whatever the timetable is.
Yep.
I have no idea, but
You've been doing the reps.
Yeah, I just know that I've done the same thing every day with no real objective or no real assumption of anything happening.
Yeah.
I just do what I do because that's what I do.
Yeah.
Love that.
You know, and when it starts to pay off, it's like, oh wow, how about that? How about them apples? And now I'm consistently in more and more rooms where I walk away going like, wow, never saw that coming, or like that was cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And well, you know, there's the thing in me like, why wouldn't I want that to continue?
Yep.
And so, like for me, everybody always argues about faith or whatever, blah blah blah. And for me, it becomes mathematical.
Yeah.
It's not like some supernatural thing or whatever. It's not some magical thing that is bestowed upon you. It is like literally, if I've gone through situation X one time and I lived, okay, that's 1 of 1. But if I've done it 3 times and I made it through, okay, well now that's 100% of that is survivable.
Yeah.
You know, and then by the time you get to the 13th time, it's like whatever. You know, but that first time it was tearing the ass out of you.
Yeah.
And the same thing is that whole Kaizen, the Japanese small consistent effort every day. It's like, you know, 1 push-up doesn't do anything, but 100 push-ups for 100 days.
Hey, 4,000 whacks of that pickleball paddle. I've got a
Yes.
bicep
You got
like
it.
nobody's
You got
business.
it.
That's what I
Yes.
got to tell you.
Yes. And just to argue with you a little bit, I agree with you, except that on the faith side, there's mathematics involved too. You have to do the things. You
Oh,
can't
yes.
just lay in bed and it just comes to you. And yeah, it doesn't work that way. And so I'm excited because one, I think that we've all done the work this year.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
We've really put the steps in to put ourselves in rooms and to be with people. But on the mathematical side, because we've done the work and like so many people in our industry, the cream is rising, and the ones who got the
Yeah.
education and who have paid attention and who have not just been distracted by the noise,
Yep.
they're going to reap the benefits of what's coming in January and 2025. So that's why I'm excited.
Yeah, I will credit it to this. I'm grateful for the support system that I've grown, and I think it's so interesting. I always think about my birthday, not because it's more towards the beginning of the year and how every year who I celebrate with my birthday looks slightly different, or like the group
That's
does.
good. Yeah.
And it's not like negative or anything else. It's just understanding that there are different people that are pouring into you at different seasons.
Absolutely.
And so reflecting back to what that looks like, I'm excited to see who I celebrate with this year and what that team looks like,
Yeah.
because I don't get anywhere alone. And I'm so thankful for the two of you, and I want to continue to do really fun things with you guys
Oh,
in
now you're going to make
2025.
me get all squishy over here.
I have my moments with my feeling.
I have a role to play.
So
Yes.
we'll wrap it up. Conference for
Yep.
us. We're having another Winning Women's Wednesday
What?
conference in January. But before we talk about that any further, we want to hear what you have to say when you get back from NAR. So
Okay, wonderful.
Have a great trip.